I was obliging his interest.
You are obliging his interest. Wow.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. Talk to you guys about you guys fans comments part 2 with the Nyaa and the Kris, because there were so many comments, over 250 comments there was. So I've just taken 10 again, really top quality comments. Every single one of them was amazing. But I took 10 out of that batch and decided to bring you some content. Hopefully this won't be as long as the first one, but I really appreciate you guys tuning in and liking and sharing, subscribe. Don't forget, leave a comment downstairs in the comment section as well for more great content like this. Okay, like, share, subscribe. And for those who are returnees, you got the minerals. You got the minerals. All right, don't forget to grab your merchandise as well. And don't forget as well, join our Patreon at Little Black Book 91, and also join our Marriage Council UK if you're looking for marriage, long-lasting, healthy relationships as well. Guys, let's talk about your comments today, okay? Because we know the part 1 was heavy. Let's drop part 2, you get me? And don't forget, leave your comments down below. We had Ishonda Rochelle. I hope that's LaShonda Rochelle, sorry. LaShonda Rochelle. And she said, while I don't like the bashing of Nyaa, her delivery would not have been my approach, but she wants a full provider in a husband. Why is that so bad? Well, sis, I mean, nobody's saying it's bad. I don't think anybody has made that point. But let me continue. Haven't you all had it with doing it 50-50? Black women are embedded to do the half while non-black women get it. I'm tired of this. Where is this? Like, have anybody gone out there really and researched and asked women if they're doing halves? Because the woman that I was, let me tell you something. The people that I was working with, okay, people were doing halves. The people that I was working with were doing halves. Now, the customers I was working with, they weren't doing halves. Why? Because they were higher wealth clientele. They earned enough to not have their wives contribute. I had clients that were earning in pounds, £1,000, £20,000, 100 grand, earning, almost 200 grand, £250,000. Of course, they don't need a woman to contribute. And even then, I had clients who were, and they had women that were contributing. So this whole myth that white women are not contributing is a myth, absolute mythological. Because if the men are not able to, and of course there may be more women, more non-white women who are not contributing towards a household, because there are going to be more non-white, non-black men who are going to be ascending up the ladder. Now, evidently, if our white counterparts are in the society that we have more opportunity to have. To be promoted and have more finances, and to have a bigger paycheck, etc., due to the society, of course, then more white women are also going to make sure that they wouldn't have to work, would they? It's a natural phenomenon. But to say it like, obviously, that black women, that black women have been embedded with this half mentality, I can understand it, because there is an aspect of it that has, right? Because obviously, due to the fact of our socio-economical issues, right, due to our history of being enslaved, yes, there has been a working together. But guess what? There's always been a working together. There's always been an ability to work together, right? Unless the man earns considerable amount of bread. Do you understand? Unless he earns that kind of bread. But anyway, let's go on, because it actually is a very good point by LaShonda Rochelle. And guys as well, let us know down below as well your comments as well. She goes on to say, obviously, the man must provide, capital letters. The man must provide. No one is expecting her to put up with less than. It's disturbingly sad that most who are bashing her are black women. Haven't Kevin, Kanye, and the list goes on taught you anything? Go Nyaa, don't settle for struggle love. Listen, I agree with you. Listen, nobody should settle for struggle love. So if you're listening to this, we do not promote struggle love, okay? But cut your cake, okay, according to the size of your mouth. That's my new term. Cut your cake according to the size of your mouth, okay? Right? And understand that, listen, not everybody's going to be in a position where you're going to have a man that's going to be able to pay everything, right? Just cut your cake according to your mouth. You understand that? I don't know what that means, but it means something. You get me? It sounded sweet. Yeah, just like the cake I'm eating. All right, cool. Lovely Light said, I think deep down most women want a husband who will be able to fully take care for them, but in real life, this is almost impossible. Oh, lovely light. May the Lord add more light to your life. You understand? May He add more love to your life. She says, second, do you think it is easy for a woman to just choose to have it all and have it all husband, and tada, there he comes on his white horse? Although Nyaa gets a sperm donor, yet she needs a man to provide for her during pregnancy. I assume that her pregnancies will be high risk. It will take more than a provider to take care of her. This is a high maintenance. I love your review. Now, this is a point I'm going to make for you guys when I start doing my videos on, talking about the mansphere. We do not want high resource. We want high value. Let me say it again for you. We do not want high resource. We want high value. And the difference is this. The resource means the woman can utilize the resources the man has. The high value is not just about his resources, it's about his emotional intelligence, his ability to care, his ability to empathize, his ability to love you, his ability to make sure that you are special in his life. If he just has high finances and high resources that you can utilize, then he's high resource. If he can't give you the emotional stability that you need, he's not high value, he's high resource, because eventually he will drain you if he's not emotionally intelligent. He will drain you if he doesn't care for you. He will drain you if he doesn't love you. He will drain you if he's only here to supply you financially but not deal with your emotional needs that you need and your physical needs. He will drain you, and he will no longer become high value. He's now high resource. I hope that makes sense. We had my account for commenting said, the whack thing about some men who do not want to or are financially incapable of being the main provider is that they, brackets, like Kris did, claim they want an equal partnership simply because they respect the notion of women's empowerment. They act like not wanting to financially support a woman is noble and shows that they're open and progressive. However, it is one thing to actually have the means to provide but still want an equal financial partnership. It's another thing to want an equal or even or unequal when a woman provides more partnership because you just don't have the financial means to be a provider. I think that's a good point. There can be a little bit of glory, glory dust given on somebody about, I don't step in the way of women who are earning more, blah, 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 but really it's because they just don't earn enough, right? So yeah, you're right. That can there's like this glorification that can happen when someone doesn't actually earn that much. That's why you're taking a back seat. It's not because you want to. It's because you ain't got no choice. But I also want to put the other side, which is that even if you've got no choice, that's the reason why you got to do it. I don't think there's any guy that would take a back seat financially if they were earning more. Why would you? Well, why would I do that? That's detrimental to our relationship. So he wouldn't do that, because it would be detrimental. Why would I take a back seat and plug in holes when I earn more? Do you get what I'm saying? So I get that. But it's a good point she made there. However, it's she goes on to say it's another thing to want an equal. Sorry, Kris' honest answer was probably, I don't have a lot, so ideally I would like for you to provide at least half, and I would just be able to fill in the gaps. Instead, he leads with all this empowered, independent woman talk. Okay, I get what she's saying now. So it's almost like he's disingenuous, like just say you don't have the money kind of thing, right? And say you want to be equal, rather than going on saying I believe in feminine. Now I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, sis, or sir. I definitely hear what you're saying now. That makes a lot of sense. What you're saying, yeah. And so, so what was I would like for you to, Kris' honest answer was probably, I don't have a lot, so ideally I would like for you to provide at least half, and I'll just be able to fill in the gaps. Instead, he leads with all the empowered, independent woman talk. Also, he generalized and said he knows most women today are into being equal. Yes, it's true. He made a very big generalization, and that is not the truth. I don't think that's a consensus, if I'm honest with you. If his position is only based on what women want, then he should have told Nyaa he'd handle it. However, she wants, instead of telling her what most women want and going off that. The truth is he can't provide whether she wants him to or not. Finally, he needed a group of women to coach him on what to say to his woman about how he will manage their household. What grown man needs coaching on this from women? I mean, I get what you're saying. I mean, but good counsel sometimes is good, but I would say on this subject, I don't think he needed a woman. Reason being, because hold your ground, bro. Either you believe it or you don't. There is no need to counsel, because either you believe in providing or you don't. But that, I think, showed me that he's willing to bend. And this could be a good thing or a bad thing. The willingness to bend could be that, okay, look, you know what? I didn't see it that way, and I've learned quickly and realized, no, I won't do that. I will lead in the financial area. Or it could mean as well that he's too soft and he's willing to bend just because a woman said he should bend. And if that's not the kind of guy that's not often the kind of guy that a woman wants. Do you know what I'm saying? I say that loosely because there are different types of guys. There are gamma, delta, omega, okay, alpha, sigma. You know, I've told you about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are different types of guys and there are different types of girls. So you just got to know what kind of guy you're going for and what kind of girl you're going for. And so she goes on to say, the truth is he can't finally he needed he goes, what grown man needs coaching on this from women? Side note, Kris is mainly a female spelling out that name. It's usually short for Kristen or Christina. The male spelling is Kris with a Chris. His parents apparently knew he would be a beta male. Now, I don't appreciate that. I don't like them kind of comments there. And another thing is this: what is wrong with a beta male? Have you guys forgotten? A whole lot. Society is built on beta males. You need them. Stop going on like alpha males. Alpha males, there are not that many of you. Stop thinking that there's so many alpha males out there. There are not that many alpha males. Imagine a pyramid at the very top of the pinpoint. That's the alpha male. There is no alpha male big base. You understand? So there's gonna be like, I just get tired of this whole comments out. It's like he's a beta male, and it's like it's meant to be an insult. Blood. The whole society that we run on, blood, runs on beta males. You need them to turn up to work. Your workforce is beta. Look, you need beta. Don't disrespect beta. Beta makes your world run. Betas, deltas, gammas, omegas, they make your world run. If they weren't around, if they were all alphas, nothing would get done, because alphas need a system. Alphas need a hierarchy. They need the omegas, they need the betas, they need the deltas, and they need the gammas, because they are the ones that instruct them. Now imagine everybody's an alpha. Who is going to work? Don't disrespect the beta. Don't disrespect the beta, please. Get it into your head. Don't disrespect the beta, okay? Yeah, it's what makes the life run the way it runs. You understand? Yeah? Yeah, cool. All right, beautiful. Marion Walker said, Nyaa put finance ahead of romance. She was into Kris until she understood how he would run a household budget. She didn't give my man no slack. She was reliving a painful moment. Kris could have communicated better. I agree with that as well. Kris also should have been open to exploring more streams of income. I hear that. He has a great voice and look. He could start a podcast, YouTube show, or do hosting gigs. He should have told Nyaa he was willing to work for her as well. I think I agree with your points there, Marion. I think he could have really opened up a more expansive dialogue so that he actually really knows what she earns as well, because he made an assumption that I know you make more. Now, I don't know if they've actually discussed it, but it sounded like an assumption. And so really what he could have done is had a conversation with her, sat down with her and said, hey, look, what kind of money do you make? Now, then they could have had a real productive, intentional conversation in terms of where they're going. And I think that wasn't really established seemingly on the show for us. We didn't get to see that. So that would have been a very good conversation. And yes, he could have looked at other streams of income. But again, is he broke? If he made 50k and she makes 100k, is he broke? No, he's not. He just makes less than her. So we got to also look at that as well. Is somebody broke? Is somebody not? If someone can earn a bit more, can they do that? How would they do that? Etc. etc. But I do get your point, Marion. It makes a lot of sense. We had Kelly A also saying their piece, saying, I noticed it comes to black women, we're expected to date down and to settle with less. No other race does that. The assumptions. She did it right. She did the right thing by letting go, but went about it the wrong way. They saw finances differently, which is fair. She was extremely ungrateful and stank about how she went about it. Completely unnecessary. Her response to Edwin that he was less work shows that she just on to the next, not based on any real connection. Edwin already has one or two So she better keep in line. Kris is nice, but he also has to remain true to himself. It was nice that he sought help on how to answer, but that advice ladies gave wasn't what he felt. This is what I'm talking about. Absolutely true. It wasn't what he felt. He should have stuck to what he said and acknowledged that, and the way they viewed things differently, which is okay. You can pretend only for so long before your true self comes out. I agree with that, Kelly. I agree with that 100%. His "I'm here to fill in the gaps" was a bit cringy to hear. I hear you. I hear you. I agree that as well. Yeah, it could have been cringy. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. So she was not wrong, but a real convo to follow should have been had, not a whisper convo over breakfast. Nyaa should be next to go based on that attitude. I respect that, Kelly. It was a good sound, a roundup. I like that. We had Melanin Saber say, first of all, I dedicate that Tyra Banks meme to Nyaa because we were rooting for her. I hear you. My heart was sad after this episode for the deliberate energy put into pursuing and making Nyaa know how he felt about her. Kris didn't deserve that. Fair enough, his views on finances may not have lined up with hers, but to just withdraw her energy from him the way she did and then be so dismissive and unkind about him in front of the ladies and Tommy was unnecessary. If Edward is smart, and I hope my boo is, my boo, he will note this is a red flag because that switch could possibly foreshadow other issues around communication and detachment. Solid points. Sabrina Walker says, Nyaa said in the beginning when talking to Kris, she is a lady, can't pour herself over man, and she likes to be pursued, but she did the opposite. She did all the kissing, and when he mentioned being an ordained deacon, her response was not congrats, but about the altar, marriage and a baby. Absolutely. And when he mentioned 50-50 finances, she dropped him. It was never about Kris, love or marriage. It was about her desire to finally have a baby. Being ready to love includes a willingness to compromise, and we see how that played out. Some really good points here, y'all going in. Peace Minded said, I'm disappointed these two didn't make it. However, he assumed that she had more money and said a man should fill in the gaps. Absolutely right. He assumed. He emasculated himself. Oh, damn, baby. However, maybe she didn't have an example to know better. However, maybe he didn't have an example to know better. Nya's response was really over the top, and I wonder if she truly liked him or saw him as a potential provider so she could sit down. These days, men don't want a woman who isn't trying to help at all. Okay, that's some truth to that then. There's a happy medium to be found. I agree. I think in certain friends and family before they have solidified relations and discard everything was harmful. Yeah, I mean, there's a process to inviting your friends and your family, but I think when you're cool, when you've worked things out, when you're at a place of just, you two are your genuine firm foundation. Jesus, you're my firm foundation. When you've got that firm foundation in your relationship, I think it becomes easier to be able to discuss some of these things, right? I mean, it's not the easiest, but it becomes easier because you have a level of friendship, a level of respect for one another, and a level of trust. You know what I'm saying? So it's important that you have that emotional safe space so that you can discuss some of these issues at length. Got another few pulleys here. We've got Impossible Jones says, I'm proud of Nyaa for seeing that financial red flag and considering it a deal breaker. At the pool, Kris still didn't comprehend the financial issue. At the table, he tried to mimic what Joy told him to say, but that was not his truth. Amen. It wasn't his truth. And if it's not your truth, don't come and lie. Nyaa was correct when she said she didn't know Kris. Chase turned like Jesus, because they were in the getting to know stages. Nya's occupation is considered self-employed, and she can't stand on her feet pregnant during clients to pay rent with her high-risk pregnancy. Women need to learn to be truthful to themselves and not pick me's. Nyaa does not owe Kris loyalty, but her behavior with other guys is rushed, just like Kris. Dating is discovery time, less kissing, more listening. Yes, Impossible Jones, we love it. Mrs. Jones. Thorley Moore said Nyaa settled for Kris. That's why she was quick to change her mind about him. Her main goal is to find a baby daddy who's financially stable and not love. Okay. And we had Dion Palmer say Steve Harvey once said that a man will only change for one woman in his lifetime. Nyaa was that for Kris, and she destroyed an amazing man and opportunity. Well, I mean, you know what? I've said this as well. If guy is changing for a girl, be careful. He should be changing because he wanted to change. Him changing for the girl is problematic because that's a catalyst, or I should say even something that keeps him in that place. But he needs to learn that he's at that place because he wants to be there, not for a girl. You know what I mean? But I hear what you're saying. I love that, Dion Palmer. And BK Girl for Life says, I think Nyaa was triggered by Kris' response. She may have been in a relationship prior where she was pulling more than her weight. Kris never talked about building financial security. Love that term. Split mortgage and I know my place. Sounds more like a struggle than a security. Sis, you talking. Says, I really wish Nyaa had handled the situation better because I think Kris had genuine intentions. Yeah, I love that point. And I love the fact you put about financial security, split the mortgage, I know the place, and it sounds like a struggle. So I appreciate the fact that you put that there as well. Guys, we've reached the end of our thing. I know it's a bit of a long one again, but you appreciate, you love it, you like it. It's your fans' comments, and we had to go and and drop a little pieces of thought as well. Please leave a comment down below in the comment section what you thought as well going forward. And don't forget as well to like, share, subscribe, and don't forget as well, join our Patreon. If you're serious about relationships, you're serious about long-lasting relationships, then you got to try the Marriage Council UK. We're going to be running a course for the next few weeks on on marriage, on expectations, on finance, on trauma as well. So listen, if you want to learn about that kind of stuff, you want to have a healthier relationship, then you need to join the Patreon, the Marriage Council UK. You can also follow our Patreon, Little Blackbird 91, to support the great work I'm doing as well, my side as well. But I really want you guys to join the Marriage Council UK. We need to get about 100 people on there and make that course worthwhile, because we've got different practitioners. I'm telling you, we've got different practitioners. All right, so listen, you're going to come and you're going to enjoy it. You feel me? All right, guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe of the uploads. It's Little Black Book, baby.